Ransack Knight here with another review. I haven't done one of these in a while. I got a good setup here. I don't know if it'll be permanent. But here is Power Charger Bumblebee and Legendary Optimus Prime. I'm gonna be reviewing them today, and I hope I am able to give you guys some input in case you want to buy one of these guys. Getting started, I think I'll start with Bumblebee because he's the first one I have got. Alright, Bumblebee. He's a very neat figure. It's a very neat figure, and I think he's very underrated in the Transformers community. He has knife action, the blade action right here that you can put away, and he also has a gimmick, which I do miss gimmicks. So that's his face. He could look not really 360, but he could look side to side, but he can't look up or down. But if you want to activate his gimmick, go like that. And for his blade, you just slide it up, and yeah. This Bumblebee is a unique mold. Maybe took some inspirations from the Studio series, especially with his legs. But I don't have Studio series Volkswagen Bumblebee, so I wouldn't know. It's very top heavy, I will say. I really wish he could look up and down, but it's understandable due to the gimmicks the figure possesses. For the deco, it's pretty basic yellow. I really like the paint they use for the windows. The gunmetal gray fits really good, and I really like this brown that's using. I do know B127 has that color also, which I really like. And that's his back. That's how he looks like from the back. His back, it's pretty decent. And again, the paint is pretty decent, I would say. Though I will say it's not as good as Optimus over here, which I'll get to him in a bit. But quality, very sturdy. I lost the instructions, sadly. Even I have most of my instructions for most of my figures, but I lost the instructions for these, or maybe I found them and I just misplaced them again. But the figure's very big. Quality wise, I will say the plastic's pretty good, though it does feel a little flimsy sometimes, like if I could snap it, but it hasn't snapped on me in any way or form. Articulation, you can move this far back, but if you lift this, which is due to transformation, you go a little farther. Same thing with this side. He can move his head this much and this much. His hands, he can move them full 360, but it looks weird with the wheel being in the way sometimes. And same thing with the other side. Leg articulation, he has no pivot, but his knee could go up that high and go back that much if you want something like that. And he has a decent spread, and I could do some decent poses with him, but they're very janky in my opinion. Like if you try to do the fist up, the fist up pose he had in the movie. His the wheel could sometimes make it look a little weird, but yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna show some size comparison with some of the figures I have. Alrighty, as you can know, the figure's a pretty big one. I still have the box. It's a pretty big figure, so don't expect something small. Pretty sure it's leader class. Doesn't really say leader class, but I count it as a leader class. Let me stand them straight so I could show the size comparison, so you could get a better idea of the size. Alright, sometimes this gets stuck in the way. There you go. Alright, size comparison. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Alright, here he is next to Deluxe Class Ransack. Me. Without the wings in the way, it would be this big. Here he is next to Voyager Class Age of Extinction Grimlock. And then here he is next to Leader Class. I think it's, I forgot the name. It's a T-Rex from Jurassic Park, from the pack. It's a T-Rex from the Jurassic Park pack. Though I brought another one, which I think fits better as a leader class, because lately leader classes have just shrunk to Voyager. So here's this is also a sneak peek to my next review. Here he is next to Masterpiece Movie Blackout. Power Charger Bumblebee is a pretty hefty and big figure. I should also talk about the gimmicks he has. Right now I think it's on. If you spin this, unless it makes me look bad, unless I turned it off. Let me see. There you go. Here's a gimmick. You spin this. Apparently he has 25 and plus phrases, but I've only heard like a few, 3 or 5. He does a power off sound. If I do a fist up, maybe he does something else. Yeah. The gimmicks doesn't affect the figure too much. Though I will say it leaves us with this huge piece of whatever that is, because it was part of the Power Chargers line. But yeah, here's Power Charger Bumblebee, and that's I think it for now. For this section of the video, and then I'm gonna review Optimus, and then when I finish with Optimus, I'll show the review for the vehicle modes. Okay, here's Legendary Optimus Prime, which he has become one of my favorite, I think maybe even my favorite Optimus Prime figure, even with its few flaws it has. First, let's start with the decal and the color. As you can see, it's the Michael Bay Optimus Prime with a G1 detail, and of course he transforms into a fat nose. A lot of people don't like the blue right here, but I actually dig it. Though I will say that looks kind of weird, especially in truck mode. For example, that toy guy, he's the reason I have this because I didn't know it existed. He said he didn't like how only some parts have silver, which it would be here and here. But oh, and here. But I think they nailed it with the. I think they nailed it with the amount of paint and silvers they used. Quality. It's very good quality actually. Mine's used. One thing I don't like is how this doesn't click that much, and this side it does click. So it could be due to how old it is. Well, it's not even that old. It could be also depending on how the previous owner took care of him. An issue I have with the quality would be sometimes it feels flimsy, but at the same time, it feels fine. There's a few stretch marks here and there. There's one, I think, if you can see it right there. Right here. Or maybe I'm lying. Oh, yeah. A little scrape right there. The previous owner. But there's some stretch marks, I assure you. Some quality issue I have is, I don't know if everyone's copies like this. I know that Toy Guys is, but it's very flimsy in the legs. It's only the legs. Everything else is good. Though it's not annoying to the point that you can't pulse him. Like there's some pulses that allow him to just stay straight. But yeah, quality seems to be very good. And quality seems to be very good. And yeah, articulation wise, he has more articulation than Bumblebee. You can move the head up that much, down that much, and if you move a joint in the neck, you can make him look even more down or even more up. You can move the shoulders away, and you can move it 360. I'm pretty sure, both sides. The arms go up that much, down that much, and they could do a good 360. I won't show it because I don't want to risk breaking it. Oh, well, there. Both sides could do this. And just be careful with the shoulder. Could get in the way sometimes. The legs are pretty much the same thing as City Series. But it's a bit better. Like better hiding capable and not looking too skinny. Legs go up that much. Back that much, and the same thing for the other side. Move back and forth. Yes, his spread isn't that much because due to the wheels, but I think it's decent. But yeah, that's articulation wise. Due to me forgetting where I showed the gimmick, but this figure has a gimmick. It's two of them, and it's just something to do with the gun and the face. Oh, and to mention, his hands are open and close, open and close. First of all, his face, which I think it'd be easier if I. Yeah, mine's head comes off a little too easy. Here's the face, so you can tell it has the mouth, but if you flick this up and twist it, you get the mask version. And yeah, another gimmick would be the gun. And don't mind the noise that's being made. I'm just sitting down. The gun looks awesome. And as a disclaimer, if you have any issues, this cannot hold this too well. There's a little peg right there that's supposed to tab with this, but it doesn't really tab. So what I found out to do is just close it and put the gun in there. But it's a really light grip and it falls. The gimmick for the gun will be you could transform it. First you open it here, twist it, split open, close it, go this way. Okay, right here you spread it and you basically tab it right there. There's little holes right there. Basically tab it in. And it makes for some gnarly weapon storage, which you see those two tabs. Put it in there. And that looks awesome. And also the weapon storage actually works even in transformation. Like, you don't need it for the transformation, but it like integrates itself into the transformation. Oh yeah, and the elbows could go that much far, but I don't like it straight because I forgot to mention this is a retool of the evasion mode, evasion Optimus Prime, which is upscaled. But honestly, this figure is really good. It's very fun to handle, and its transformation isn't a pain. So yeah, I'm gonna do some size comparisons right now. Okay, for size comparison, here he is. Also, as you can tell, he's not as big as Bumblebee, which I think is pretty apparent and obvious. That's how he is. How big he is next to Deluxe Ransack. Here he is without the wings. Here he is next to Voyager class Grimlock. And then here he is next to leader class. I think this is the leader class. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a leader class, but whatever. It's the same size as the leader class, since leader classes are getting smaller. Here is next to leader class Rexy. And since this is small for a leader, if it is a leader, here is Optimus next to Masterpiece Blackout, which honestly, look at that. That is like a perfect size for like an actual duel between these two. I think it actually scales pretty good to the movie also. Also, hint, this might be my next review. And yeah, that's how big Legends class Optimus is. I mean, not Legends class, Legendary Optimus Prime, which here he is next to Bumblebee, which the video I made at the start before, like a little teaser, that's why I kept Bumblebee so far away, so he actually scaled. But yeah, no, and also a cool little thing, I got the box for both of them. And yeah, if I'm not wrong, I believe both of these retailed originally for $50, but Optimus was actually a Japan exclusive. So if you want that, you could, I think, get him by, but shipping might be very expensive. And if you want the shipping option, you're gonna have to wait like 100 days. For me, Optimus costed me like $100. Bumblebee was a gift for my mother or my grandmother, one of the two, I forgot. But yeah, those are the prices for these things. I'm not sure how much Bumblebee costs in the market right now, but I know that Optimus Prime is pretty expensive, especially if you want a brand new. But yeah, next up will be a review of the vehicle modes, which I'm very looking forward to. Here are the vehicle modes. I would like to say transformations. Alright, let's start off with Bumblebee. Bumblebee's transformation, I will say, I think he might be my favorite Bumblebee from the movies to transform, because it's not a pain in the butt. If you've been subscribed for a while and seen my videos, you will know that I really dislike the Studio Series Bumblebees, though I will say for the Michael Bay movies. For example, Nest Bumblebee and B-127, I think those are two awesome figures, are fun to transform. Unlike Junkyard Bumblebee and 2007 Studio Series Bumblebee, which it's one of the worst figures to transform for me. And I've transformed a Masterpiece figure, and that's not even as like headache inducing as Bumblebee. But yeah, like you can see, he's designed after his Bumblebee moving counter part. And oops, actually I gotta put it like that because I don't want to hit it. He's a pretty big figure. Once you transform him, he actually makes a different noise, like a driving noise and like a revving engine noise. He's pretty basic and simple. I wish he had a little bit more detail, like for example, maybe having a bit of brown right here, and like maybe have him a little dusty and like without paint. I think it's too yellow or too orangey. But even without it, I think this figure just looks awesome. Though I do wish that the lights actually have the light up feature instead of just the middle of the body. I don't know why it lights up in the middle of the body. That's the thing that I really like, which is the head and the bottom looking back at you. All four wheels roll. Well, because it's a slippery surface, it doesn't roll, but they do roll. So this one's kind of a little harder though. It could also be because it's a little older. Obviously, he looks like his Generation 1 self, because that's what the Bumblebee movie was trying to pay homage to. And transformation wise, he's very simple. Paint wise, it's pretty simple paint also, and yeah, he looks great. I could show you a quick size comparison. I'm not gonna transform these because that's just gonna make the video a little bit too hard for me to do. But here he is next to Ransack. Here he is next, Deluxe class Ransack. Here he is next to Voyager class Grimlock. Here he is next to, I think this is a leader class. Leader class Rexy from the Transformers X Jurassic Park. And last but definitely not least, next to Masterpiece movie Blackout, which again is gonna be my next review, I think. But yeah, it's a pretty decent robot mode. But let's move on to Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime. I absolutely adore this vehicle mode. And a little fun fact: if you have the Masterpiece G1 Optimus Prime, his trailer actually fits there, so he's compatible. And transformation is Very simple, but if you have to do stuff very like precise, like you can't like, oh, I'm just gonna have the shoulder facing the other way instead of the regular way because the transformation won't work. But he's pretty simple. Again, he's a retool of Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, and shares the same vehicle mode and a similar transformation. Um, the silver painting pops out the most in vehicle mode compared to robot mode, and you can tell that um, this vehicle mode is this transformer in general painted really well. I forgot to stick the windows out, but the windows stick out. They could go this much or this much. I like keeping it like this. And he does roll, though you have to sometimes put him straight on the ground and fix it so that they all roll. But he does roll, see? And it's just a really beautiful looking robot mode. It's also my first flat nose Optimus Prime. Obviously he's based off after his G1 interpretation. Not the right truck mode, obviously, because this is the Invasion mode version from Age of Extinction. Bottom. Oh yeah. This is how the weapon actually integrates into the vehicle mode, and it's amazing. This is actually a really awesome figure, and I highly recommend anyone to get it, especially if you guys want like a masterpiece style Optimus Prime. Yeah, I don't have nothing much to say since he doesn't really have a gimmick in his vehicle mode. A lot of people were complaining that these don't line up, but honestly, you can't really tell and if you don't want panel lines on a transformer, then don't buy a transformer. Just buy the actual truck, which I do actually have a truck based on this, like exactly the same, but maybe with both the smokestacks. But that's it for Optimus Prime. The paint, like I said, amazing, especially the silver. I kind of wish this stayed blue. A lot of people like that toy guy actually likes this being gray, but I would have actually preferred it to be blue. But better for me because it won't scratch off, because that's the base color. Very not hard to transform at all. But yeah, now time for the wrap up. Time to wrap up the video. This is the part of the video where I actually review it in the sense of what I give it as numbers. I'm gonna change it from 1 to 5 because I think it'll be way easier to review that way. Also, don't mind the noise. That's my laundry. But start off with Bumblebee. Awesome robot mode and awesome vehicle mode. Honestly, for the robot mode, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's a decent figure, and its articulation is pretty decent, but it's hindered by the features and the gimmicks, which I do miss seeing gimmicks in my Transformer figures, but like light up eyes and stuff like that. But I think this one kind of let it influence it too much. Like you can tell this is whole like battery holder and a speaker holder. And despite that, it's a pretty useless gimmick, because first of all, if I roll like this, it's not gonna do the gimmick unless I go like that, and it just makes a revving noise. So I would much rather they kept the gimmick in the face and maybe light up the eyes. Maybe some dialogues, but this entire thing could have been avoided. But that's honestly because it's a Hasbro figure, and Hasbro's figures always have to have something. So yeah, I will give the robot mode a 3 out of 5 because he very limited articulation, but he looks very good. Looks very good, especially in robot mode. Okay, now for Optimus. Let me get Ransack out of the way. Get out of the way. There we go. Alright, for Optimus Prime, this is a must-have in my opinion. Though, it's not worth $100. Maybe if it was... the articulation was a masterpiece tier, and he could hold his weapon, and he was maybe came with like a trailer, but it would have been nice if it came with a trailer. But honestly, originally it retailed for $50 and I paid $100, but I would have paid $100 like actually if it had a trailer. But if I could go back and maybe buy him for $50 and only $50, I would buy him only for $50. But articulation wise, he's amazing, and honestly, he's gotta be my favorite Optimus Prime so far. I will definitely give this one a guarantee, a Ransack guarantee, which I think I'm gonna add something new to my reviews. The Ransack guarantee of this figure is worth getting, but try getting it less than 100. But if you find it for 100, go for it, because that's way cheaper than 124 or 200 I've seen it. Even used, it's a good figure. Just be worried that his joints around his thighs and hips and legs, they're very loose. But postable regardless of that. So it's a must-have. I give it a 5 out of 5. I've never given an Optimus Prime a 5 out of 5. Maybe my first ever review, I might have given the Studio Series Optimus Prime for the 15th anniversary a 5 out of 5 or a max, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I gave it an 8 or 7. But this is a must-have. This is an amazing figure, and I highly recommend it. And plus, who wouldn't want an Optimus Prime that you could switch the face? But yeah, vehicle mode will be 5 out of 5. Bumblebee's vehicle mode. I forgot to review the vehicle mode for Bumblebee, so let's just go back to Bumblebee. Bumblebee's vehicle mode, it's a Beetle. It could have a better detail, but I'll give it a 3 out of 3. It's just basic. Feels too shelly. Like, I don't mind shell formers, but it's a little too much. The only part that really transforms would be the legs. But yeah, I give Bumblebee 3 and a 3 out of 5 and a 3 out of 5 for both robot and vehicle mode. For Optimus Prime, his vehicle mode, his robot mode, honestly, 5 out of 5. Robot mode, due to the loose joints, I'll give it a 5.5. I mean, a 4.5. Because, you know, if the joints were better, I would have given it a max. But both vehicle modes, this will be a 3 out of 5. A 5 out of 5. For robot mode, 3 out of 5. And a 4.5 out of 5. But this is definitely a guarantee. But yeah, that's it for the video. I love you. I appreciate all of you that have watched. I hope this video reaches people. And God bless you all. And if you like the video, leave it a like. Feel free to comment anything in the comments. And if you like my videos, I recommend subscribing and turning that bell notification on. And in the link below, I'm gonna put the link below, the description below. I'm gonna add my Five Nights at Freddy's 3 playthrough because, you know, so you guys could get to know what I do in this channel. But yeah, I love you. I appreciate y'all. God bless you all. And till the next review. Bye-bye.
Our worlds are in danger.